the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at today's news on Monday, April 10th, 2023. We go to Chad. Over 5 months in prison, 259 Chadian protesters who were pardoned back in late March were released on Saturday over the weekend. According to their lawyers, the former inmates left the Mosoro prison located 300 kilometers east of Ndangema and arrived home. It's the end of an ordeal for the mostly young who took part in the 2022 protests known as Black Thursday that occurred on October 20th of that year. On that day, thousands of Chadians marched across the country and called on the opposition, denounced the extension of the transition for 2 years. The government had acknowledged the arrest of 601 people in Ndangema, including some 80 minors. A court in a high security desert prison then sentenced 262 people to 2 to 3 years in prison after a mass trial with no lawyers. Those convicted were found guilty, among other charges, including unauthorized assembly and destruction of property and arson. The opposition and NGOs had also denounced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and torture. Those in Chad, let us know. Do you feel like justice has been fully served now? Let's go to Northern Africa and to Egypt. Egypt's annual urban consumer inflation rate in March rose to 32.7% on a year-to-year from 31.9% in February. Month-to-month urban inflation slowed to 2.7% in March from 6.5% in February. Egypt has been seeing surging inflation since 2022, precipitated by currency devaluations and difficulties getting imports into the country. The North African country has devalued its currency since March of 2022, and devaluation was one of the conditions set by the IMF before granting Cairo a $3 billion bailout loan. The increase was driven by a rise in food prices linked to Ramadan-related seasonal demand and the impact of the currency devaluation. Egypt's highest inflation ever was 32.95% reached back in July of 2017. It was followed also by a currency devaluation. Those in Egypt, let us know how you guys are holding up. Drop a comment below. Let's go over to the Caribbean. Air quality levels across the Caribbean are moderate as a plume of Sahara dust continues its journey over the region. Antigua and Barbuda's meteorological service said that the dust plume has a particulate matter of 2.5 and a concentration of 10. The meteorological service said that the air quality is acceptable, even though that there are a few pollutants still present. However, meteorological and disaster management agencies warn persons who are sensitive to dust and pollutants to take caution. Sensitive groups such as the elderly, children, and those with respiratory and cardiovascular ailments should take the necessary precautions. The Sahara dust is mineral dust from the Sahara Desert, the largest hot desert in the world. The desert spans just over 9 million square kilometers in Africa, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea, and from the Mediterranean to the Niger Valley. The dust travels to different places in the world, such as Europe, Mideast, the Mediterranean, and also across the Atlantic Ocean into the Caribbean Sea. Those in the Caribbean, let us know how you guys are holding up. Let us know if the dust is affecting you guys a lot. We end today's broadcast with the African proverb of the day. And it comes to us from Ghana. Ghana must go. And it reads, "The grasshopper, which is always near its mother, eats the best food." Once again, the grasshopper, which is always near its mother, eats the best food. I'm hungry right now. What are you guys having for dinner? Let me know your interpretation of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your views, opinions, comments, and questions on the top stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for this and any other time that we upload, which is every single day. For Kush News on Kush Convos TV, I'm Ochanda. We'll see you soon.